Hey, what's up guys, ImpulseEvan here, and today I'm bringing you guys into the video, and in this video I'm going to be reacting to the newest FNAF theory called I Solved Help Wanted 2. I Solved FNAF Help Wanted 2. This came out a couple days ago, and I am now reacting to it. I'm a little bit late, but I was late on the game theory too. This is going out the same day as the game theory reaction, so if you haven't seen the game theory reaction yet, go watch that. I did my own FNAF Help Wanted 2 theory a couple days ago. I think on New Year's Eve I actually released it. So, like, 4 or 5 days ago. And yeah, in this video I'm going to be reacting to this one. So, I'm interested to see what he says. I feel like he might... I said this in the game theory reaction, but most people have been, for the most part, agreeing on what the story of Help Wanted 2 is, so I'm curious to see what he's going to say, if he's going to agree with the majority, or if he's going to have his own... well, sorry, of course he's going to have his own ideas, but I just wonder if he's going to, for the most part, agree with what most people have been saying. But let's just get into the theory.
In this video, I'm going to be sharing my theories on what I think the story of Help Wanted 2 is, and how it's foreshadowing the earliest part of the FNAF timeline. Let's start with where are we?
I have a theory on that coming soon too, the carnival.
It's pretty obvious that we're in the FNAF 6 pizzeria we saw in Security Breach, but this time we're seeing it in a much cleaner and newer state. And that's because halfway through the game, we learned that we've been wearing the Vanny mask this whole time. The pizzeria in reality looks a lot closer to how we find it in Security Breach.
Yes,
for some reason,
it is different, but it is similar.
Show us what the pizzeria looked like in the past, and this is actually not the first time we've seen this happen. There's one part of Ruin that's always stuck out to me. In Ruin, when you go up to the secret daycare room...
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, if you put on the Vanny mask in that room, everything is like clean, and then there's like a area you can go up for the just to go and grab a gift, I think is up there. But yeah, it is interesting that it makes it all fixed up. My idea for what the why it's fixed up in the pizza place is my idea is that the mimic is trying to make you think that everything is okay. So when you're wearing the mask, my idea was that it's showing what would have happened to the pizza place if the mimic never attacked in it. Because if you remember, in the first epilogue, they talk about how this pizzeria is going to turn into like a museum based on all their Fazbear like history, right? It's going to turn into a museum, but then the mimic attacked in it, so they ended up canceling that, and all the museum stuff ended up in the regular pizzaplex. So that's why the pizza place is underneath the pizzaplex, and that's why it's like all messed up, because it was destroyed, or it was messed up by the mimic, but it was originally going to be a museum. My idea was that in Help Wanted 2, the main, like with the mask on, what we see there is what it was going to be like, but when we take off the mask, we see what it actually became like because of the mimic. That was my idea for it. But yeah, it is interesting that it actually shows that, and that the same thing happened in Ruin. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else. Oh, right, in Didophobia. I remember in Didophobia, when the gas wears off, Rory, was his name Rory? I think it was Rory, right? I think Rory. When he wakes up, when the gas wears off, he can see his whole bedroom is completely disgusting, right? It's all green and moldy, and everything is hideous, right? Disgusting. And he hasn't taken a shower in like 10 years, I think. But then once he gets the gas again, his whole room is fixed again, which is very interesting. So I do wonder if like the mask works in a similar way to that, the gas, like, because they do similar things, right? Anyway, keep going. I'm gonna rewind a little bit.
The first time we've seen this happen.
Yes.
There's one part of Ruin that's always stuck out to me. In Ruin, when you go up to the secret daycare room without the Vanny mask on, it looks completely destroyed. But once you put the Vanny mask on, it looks brand new.
Yes.
Not only that, it looks even better than it did.
Yeah, even before Ruin.
The mask is able to show us how certain places used to look, which is why the FNAF 6 pizzeria looks brand new when we have the Vanny mask on. So we know
I don't think it's what it. I don't think that it's meant to show what it used to look like. I think it's just meant to show either what it was supposed to look like, or it can just be manipulated to whatever the mask or the mimic controlling the mask wants you to see.
But what about when we are? Well, in the pizzeria, we can see the charging station that Freddy uses right before we go down to find Burntrap in Security Breach. But now it's completely destroyed, insinuating that this game takes place after Security Breach. Also, there's the fact that we see shattered Glamrock animatronics in the game,
and the ruined ones
appear if it takes place after Security Breach.
Of course.
So we know this game takes place after Security Breach, but the more interesting question is, does this game take place before or after Ruin? Well,
I think the majority of the game takes place before Ruin, and then like the ending of the game takes place during Ruin. Because we see Cassie take the mask, and I feel like that's most likely in real time. It might not be, but that's what I feel like it probably is. And I think that it's like just shortly before Ruin, after the whole Pizzaplex is completely ruined, after the animatronics already have their ruined forms, and when just everything is completely destroyed, when Candy Cadet is still down there. Obviously he's in a different place than he is in Ruin, but I do think it's meant to show that this game is before Ruin and then during Ruin, rather than just completely after.
Well, this is actually pretty well laid out for us in the Roxy Salon minigame. In the minigame, we're told to do Roxy's makeup.
Yes, and then we put the mask on.
She asks us to give her a mask. This mask is the same
one that she wears in Ruin.
This explains why Roxy looks so
I think it's so cool that they added that explanation.
And not only that, where Roxy is in this minigame is right where we find her in Ruin, sitting at that exact vanity trying to figure out how to find Gregory. I think it's pretty safe to say that this game takes place after Security Breach, but
right before Ruin.
So now for some bigger questions. Who are we, and why are we here? Several times throughout the game, we hear little details about our character. Carney in Fazerblast says that we look like we have kids, indicating that we're an adult.
Now, you look like you got kids. Win a prize for the little one.
An adult. We're an adult. Also, when we unlock the Faz Wrench, Mystic Hippo tells us that it should look familiar to us. Another thing that we're told looks familiar is the secret
Bonnie mask
you can unlock in Princess Quest. If you know anything about the lore from Ruin, you know that we were introduced to a character that fits all of these descriptions.
Cassie's dad.
A character who is an adult, who knows what a Faz Wrench is.
So yeah, most people are agreeing that we play as Cassie's dad, and in the game theory, Matt Pat suggested that too, so he believes that, and now it seems like John is believing it too. So yeah, most people, that's the big thing that most people are agreeing on, that we play as Cassie's dad. And that's like the biggest part of the actual game. So that's like, so already he agrees with the majority for the most part.
Who loves Bonnie, and that's Cassie's dad. We actually learned a lot about Cassie's dad in Ruin. We learned that he was a Fazbear engineer that worked
used a Faz Wrench and like Bonnie.
He never told Cassie why Glamrock Bonnie was decommissioned. We learned that his favorite character was Bonnie. But most importantly, we learned that he disappeared. We know he disappeared.
We didn't really
Cassie
learn that.
Talks about her dad in the past tense. My dad.
I've said this before. I do think that he's obviously that he did disappear and that he is gone. But I don't think that her referring to him in the past tense ever really indicated that, because the fact that he used to collect these could just mean that he doesn't anymore, right? Like, I'm not saying that he didn't go missing, because very clearly he did if he's the player of this game. I'm just saying that simply that I don't think was ever the best evidence for it, because it could just be that he used to collect them, or that he wouldn't tell her what happened to Bonnie, because obviously he wouldn't tell her what happened to Bonnie, right? And now it doesn't matter anymore. His favorite character was always Bonnie. It doesn't matter anymore because the Pizzaplex is destroyed, so it doesn't matter now. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying that he's not disappeared. Like, he did, clearly. I'm just saying that was, in my opinion, never the best evidence for it.
Dad used to collect these. Bonnie was my dad's favorite. Cassie also says, what happened to you when we collect the Bonnie mask in Ruin? Which now, with the context of Help Wanted 2, we know is related to her dad.
Yes.
But the biggest piece of evidence for her dad going missing is in the Glamrock Salon. Whenever Cassie puts on the Vanny mask in Ruin, she sees glimpses of things and moments from her past. Cassie's favorite character is Roxy, so when she puts on the mask, the Monty vending machine turns into a Roxy vending machine. Cassie doesn't like that Monty replaced Bonnie, so when she sees Monty on stage, she sees him with red X's over his eyes. But the biggest examples of this happening is in the Glamrock Salon. When Cassie puts on the mask, she sees her own memories through the cardboard cutouts. She sees herself hanging out with Roxy, doing her makeup with Roxy. She sees Gregory being by her side when she's upset, and she sees him going missing. But the most important memory is the last one we see in this area. It's a white sticky note written by her dad that says, "Gone for a while. Money for food on counter, emergency contacts on fridge."
I have one question though. Why have I never seen that? Am I stupid? Like, I've literally never seen anybody talk about that, or to my knowledge. Like, it's not like a huge piece of evidence or anything. I'm just saying, like, why have I never seen that? I swear I should have, and I didn't see when I was playing. I don't remember seeing anybody talk about it. Maybe they did, and I just don't remember. But I don't know. Again, it's not huge though, so it's not a big deal that I didn't know about it.
This is Cassie's point of view of her dad going missing. This is the final thing she heard from him. He left, and she has no idea why. But in Help Wanted 2, we learn why. In Help Wanted 2,
he didn't want to
where
leave.
Cassie's dad ran off to. This was so important to him that he was willing to leave his kid, quote, for a while to get it done. And it's revealed halfway through the game what his goal was: to beat the final Princess Quest game. Over a year ago now, I posted a theory called I Solved FNAF Security Breach, where I told you about a string of duffel bag messages relating to an employee who was obsessed with beating all of the Princess Quest arcade machines. And in
So
his
that
quest
could
to,
be
quote,
Cassie's
save the princess,
dad.
he got fired. With the last thing he said being, they are working together, the arcades, they are hiding something, the glitches, glitch them all at the same time, then the princess will recognize me. She's testing me. I am not yet worthy. The others are protecting it. Let me stay. I'm so close. Just one more night. Please, I can save the princess. And now that we have more information, I believe that this was Cassie's dad.
That's actually a good idea.
Because
it could be.
Cassie's dad says, the glitches, glitch them all at the same time, then the princess will recognize me. She's testing me. I am not yet worthy. And once we get to unlock the room with Princess Quest 4,
You are
Mr.
worthy?
Hippo says,
She says that,
"You are
right?
Ready."
You are ready, yeah.
And when you beat the
That's true. I never knew that. That's actually a really good theory. I don't know why. I never thought of that. That's actually a good idea.
Princess Quest 4, the princess finally recognizes us, just like
Yes.
how Cassie's dad said.
That's true. That's
At the beginning of Princess
nice.
Quest 4, we are told, you are one
Good theory.
and you remain. This is him congratulating the princess for defeating Glitch Trap in Princess Quest 3. But then he says, what is left that is hidden? Go to next room. This is implying, at least to me, that Princess Quest 3 didn't fully get rid of Glitch Trap, and that a piece of him still remains and is hidden. In the game, there's two endings that you can get, the good ending and the bad ending. To get the bad ending, you have to collect all of the Transformer toys. Once you collect all of them, the final piece of Glitch Trap wins. Glitch Trap then does to Cassie's dad what he did to Vanessa in Help Wanted 1. In Help Wanted 1, when Glitch Trap transfers his consciousness into Vanessa, she turns into Freddy on stage and sees from his point of view. In Help Wanted 2, when Glitch Trap transfers his consciousness into Cassie's dad, he turns into the Mask Bot and sees from its point of view. In the bad ending, Cassie's dad is forced to watch his daughter fall into the same trap he did, which is devastating. But there is another ending, the good ending. Throughout the game, we're told to collect two groups of things, the Transformer toys.
Hold on. I'm gonna rewind a little bit.
On stage and sees from his point of view. In Help Wanted 2, when Glitch Trap transfers his consciousness into Cassie's
Yeah, they do
dad,
kind of
he
mirror
turns
each other.
into the Mask Bot and sees from its point of view. In the bad ending, Cassie's dad is forced to watch his daughter fall into the same trap he.
I think that is true, but I do think that Cassie's dad was actually already dead. I think that he was like trapped in the VR experience the whole time. But I do think that like that Glitch Trap did end up winning in a way, and like he kind of, I guess he further trapped him here, made sure that he can't do anything else. I don't know. I do agree that Glitch Trap just got more powerful in some way, and then now Cassie's dad is just trapped in here. He has to watch as this happens. And yeah, basically that.
He did, which is devastating. But there is another ending, the good ending. Throughout the game, we're told to collect two groups of things, the Transformer toys and the plushies with the masks on them.
Yeah.
The thing these have in common is both of them are versions of the victims of William Afton. The Transformers and the plushies feature the 5 missing children and
the puppet.
It's revealed in the achievements for the game that the plushies are referred to as memories. The achievement is called Remember Jeremy, featuring a picture of the Bonnie plushie, referencing how the missing child who possesses Bonnie was named Jeremy. These objects that we collect are the pieces of William Afton's identity that form Glitch Trap. In the bad ending, we have to combine all of them to help Glitch Trap win. But in the good ending, we have to use them to defeat Glitch Trap. At the end of Princess Quest 4, we're met with 6 graves, with a plushie assigned to each grave. This is obviously symbolizing the graves of the missing children and Charlie. In order to get the secret Bonnie mask, you need to light the graves in a specific order. Upon first glance, I thought this was the new order of the kids' deaths, since you need to light Chica's grave first. And
I don't think so, because I think it's clear that Bonnie died before Freddy and Foxy died after, because of the pizza party minigame, and also the balloons and security breach. I feel like those seem to indicate that the order is actually Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, Foxy, Golden Freddy. Although the puppet, I mean, is first. So Puppet, Chica, Foxy, Puppet, Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, Foxy, Golden Freddy. That's what I think the order is. So I don't think that this is the order of the deaths, but honestly, I don't really know what it is. So what's he saying?
Since you need to light Chica's grave first, and in Ultimate Custom Night, Chica says that she was the first.
Yeah.
And that she's seen everything. But if this is the new order of deaths, that would make Charlie the last kid to die.
Yeah, I don't
which
think that
wouldn't
really
make
makes
much
sense.
Because of the Silver Eyes trilogy, we've all assumed that Charlie dies in 1983, and the missing children get killed in 1985. Charlie possessing the puppet was also already around when the missing kids got killed in the Give Gifts Give Life minigame. I don't think this is the order of deaths. I think this is the order of the kids' souls being put to rest. This makes much more sense since we know that the puppet and Golden Freddy stuck around in Ultimate Custom Night after the main kids' souls moved on. And in the Fazbear Frights books,
I don't think that's necessarily true because the puppet we see in Happiest Day and Golden Freddy and all the other missing kids, they all do get set free at the same time. So if in Fazbear Frights the puppet is still around, I feel like the kids are just waiting for her, especially since they were already all there and the puppet was the one that entered last, right? So I feel like, yeah, the puppet stayed around, but I don't think that the puppet was there. But I don't think that the puppet stayed around after Happiest Day, because they all got freed in Happiest Day. The puppet stuck around to stop William once and for all in Fazbear Frights, and then came through the door and then joined in Happiest Day. She was still the last one there, but she didn't stick around after Happiest Day. And same with Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy was already there. Golden Freddy got set free in Happiest Day. That's like the main goal of Happiest Day, to set Golden Freddy free. So yeah, I feel like that it's not necessarily how the order that they got set free, because they all got set free at the same time. It just took time for them all to get together.
Puppet's soul moved on after Golden Freddy's, which would make sense with the order. Not only does this make the order make more sense, it makes sense why Glitchtrap is defeated in this ending. Instead of gathering all of the missing kids and putting them together, we light all of their graves in the order they moved on, letting those memories be forgotten and letting Glitchtrap be no more. One thing that I didn't expect to see in the game is something called the Fall Fest. We first heard of the Fall Fest in the Curse of Dreadbear DLC in 2018.
I will be honest, like, that is a good idea, and I don't really have, like, another idea to combat it. I just feel like that option isn't completely... It doesn't make complete sense to me. Maybe if I think on it more, it will, but I probably should think about that more. I do think that the idea is good. I just gotta see if it really works, I guess, is the best way to put it. But yeah, we'll keep going.
With the banner in the hub saying Fall Fest of 83.
Yes,
Fall
Fall
Fest.
Fest.
What was just a one-off Halloween DLC is turning out to be a giant piece of...
Nobody thought it was one-off.
In Help Wanted 2, we got mini games that were in the sister...
Everybody thought it was good. It was major.
But also a fair amount that take place at this Fall Fest.
Yes.
The carousel level is one of them. The other level that takes place at the Fall Fest
Fazbear Blast, yeah.
Blast, where we get introduced to a new but old...
And those are both...
Carney. Carney may
those
have
are both
a new name
levels
and a new voice,
connecting
they
with
actually have the
the carnival.
Same design as Lefty from FNAF 6. This
or just
is further
Rockstar
backed
Freddy.
up in the main hub.
They have the
When you
same
look at
design.
the model for Lefty and Carney, they are doing the exact same pose, and you can see more clearly that they're the same models.
I mean,
what
yeah,
does
but
this
also
Fall Fest
Rockstar Freddy
mean
is too,
to me?
so.
Well, we learned through one
He's not
collectible
Lefty,
Help
he's just
Wanted 2
Rockstar
that
Freddy.
There wasn't just a Fall Fest of 83, there was a Fall Fest of
1970.
1970. This
Yes.
Fall Fest predates everything we've learned about in this franchise. If you remember, Steelwool once said that they were interested in making a game about the origins of Fazbear Entertainment.
I
Yes.
have no clue if we'll ever be able to do this, but getting back to kind of like the origin of like Fazbear Entertainment.
Same here. I'd like to head further back into the 70s.
And at the time,
I do think that would be great. I just, the one thing that I don't know for sure is, there's no possession at that point, right? There's no bad animatronics. There's no like aggressive animatronics. So would they be able to turn that into a game? I'm not really sure how that would work, but I do think it would be cool if they managed to make it work.
I took that as a Fredbear's Family Diner game, but now in retrospect,
I think
they
most
never
people
said
did.
anything
Yeah.
about a Fredbear's game. They talked about the origins of Fazbear Entertainment.
Exactly.
And I think the Fall Fest of 1970 is going to be the setting of this new game about the origins of
I agree
Fazbear
that that's
Entertainment. And
probably
I think
the
this game
origin.
is gonna tie-
I have my own theory planned about the Fall Fest and the carnival and stuff, and how that's like probably the origin of FNAF, but that won't be out for a little bit. So for now, listen to him, I guess. I don't know.
was the origins of Henry's story specifically. Carney is an exact copy of Lefty, and Lefty is one
Rockstar
of the
Freddy.
only animatronics we know was built by Henry. So I think the Fall Fest was the beginning of Henry's career building animatronics. But we know that something bad must
I don't
have
think they were
happened
animatronics. I
because
think they were just
every
costumes.
Fall Fest minigame in Help Wanted 2 catches on fire. Who started this fire and why did it happen? I guess we'll have to find out at the Fall Fest one day. Now let's get to the biggest, most mind-blowing part of this video, and I cannot believe I even found this in this game, but here we go. I posted a theory in June of 2023 about how I think the Mimic virus got scanned into the Help Wanted.
I think I've actually heard
I
about this
told you
theory
that
already.
I think the Mimic virus originated from the chip we take out of Baby's arm on night 5 of Sister Location.
And I
In
do
my
disagree with
opinion,
that.
I still think that this chip is a big loose thread in Sister Location.
I still believe that that chip was nothing. A lot of people judge me for thinking that chip is nothing, but it doesn't really make sense that it would be anything because we put that chip into hand unit and then we hear Baby's and like hand unit should be like on our waist or our back or whatever, and we hear Baby's voice still when we do that. But then at the same time, that's supposed to be a lie. That's supposed to be a misdirect so that she can get us to go to the scooping room. In reality, the voice is not coming out of hand unit. It's just coming from Ennard, who is behind us. So I don't think that chip was ever meant to mean anything, and I still don't think that it's meant to mean anything. But I do know what he's going to say about this, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, but let's go.
Since Baby says that she is the chip,
There is a passcode
Again, I think
you
she's
must
just
enter
lying,
before you can
because that's the
retrieve
point.
we then plug it into hand unit,
it. Put the card into your handheld device, and I can continue to speak to you.
and then we never hear about it again. But honestly, 6 months later, I started to doubt that theory more and more. The idea that this major loose thread involving this chip could be how the Mimic virus began is cool, but I was starting to lose hope with that theory. Until Help Wanted 2 came out. Throughout all of the recent FNAF games, the Mimic virus has taken the form of Helpy. For some reason, in Ruin and now Help Wanted 2, the Mimic has used Helpy to communicate with us. Helpy has essentially become the new mascot for the Mimic virus. And in the first aid minigame, we get to see Helpy in his physical form. Helpy is basically being used as a medical dummy so we can practice our first aid on him. And one of the things we have to do is saw open Helpy's head, revealing his brain. Stuck in his brain is a chip that we need to replace. And this chip is the same chip we take out of Baby's arm on night 5 of Sister Location. The same 2 green lights and the same 5 lines in the middle. Helpy, who represents the Mimic virus in these games, is being run by this specific chip. But if you thought that was it, don't worry, there's more.
Okay, I will be honest, that is a good piece of evidence. I'm just trying to think of what, like, if there is anything that goes against that. Not just because I want him to be wrong, but just because I strongly still believe that the Tales from the Pizzaplex books are in the game's timeline, and that doesn't really match with that. And I feel like more evidence matches with Tails being in the games than Baby being the Mimic, which is why I still doubt that theory. And also because the chip, like I said, is, in my opinion, more likely a lie. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you're just trying to prove him wrong because you don't like him, blah, blah, blah. No. I like John. He's a cool dude. His theories are enjoyable, and they're very interesting. I just don't always agree with them, and that's not bad. It's not bad to disagree. I'm just trying to say that I think that there's other options out there, but at the same time, I think that's a really good piece of evidence, and I'm trying to think of, like, if there's a way, like, what else that could mean, if anything. I will think on that, and I'll get back to you guys in a future theory if I come up with any ideas, but we'll keep going. That's a good piece of evidence. That's a good theory. I understand where he's coming from for sure.
In my theory video back in June, I said that this chip was the one thing that Henry didn't account for when he did the FNAF 6 fire. This chip was able to dodge being burned in FNAF 6. And if you look behind you in the first aid level, you can see a drawing of Helpy escaping a burning building. This theory that I've basically given up on seems to be perfectly laid out in this minigame. Do I think all of this proves my theory right? I don't know. You can interpret this stuff a bunch of different ways, but you can't deny that that chip is the exact same design as the one we see in
It is, yeah, for sure.
It's now just attached to a floppy disk looking thing. It could just be a cool callback to Sister Location or even my theory, which would be really cool. But I guess we'll have to find out in a future game. I still have a ton to say about this game, so subscribe for more theories.
I got more stuff to say about the game
Thanks for
too.
watching.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. That's a good theory. And I can definitely see where that idea is coming from. It's a very interesting idea, and I'm very intrigued by it. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with this theory? I personally don't completely. I agree with, like, the first 2/3, probably. And the last half, or the last third, I don't really agree with, but I do find interesting, and I think it's definitely, like, a possibility. But overall, I think it was a good theory. And while I don't 100% agree, maybe you guys do. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of this theory. And if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to. And, like, if you enjoyed my video, I mean. But, yeah, let me know what you think of his theory. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys!